Out of the box, WWE 2K23 has several issues that make the game already out of date on the date of launch. One of those problems is outdated music and the lack of ability to import your own custom songs to fix it. So in today's video, let's use the magic of modding to find out how to replace a theme in the game with any custom song. So first things first then, and you're going to want to download 3 files for today's tutorial just to follow along. Firstly, we're going to need the sound editor, which we install with this file, and that's available in the description. All of the links will be there, and you want to go to the sound editor thread on Smack Talks forum, scroll down, find download installer, click reveal, and use the Google Drive link. Once you've done that, there'll be 2 more links, one for Sami Zayn's theme. So this will be a .wem file, and you want to download the file data.xml, which is by Mark Rampage, so all credit goes to him from the PW Mods Discord. And also shout out to the Visitor X who created Sound Editor. So we want to install that first, so you just want to double click on your exe file, and then it's going to bring up the setup, and you just want to follow through, make sure you read everything and make sure you're happy with it. And this bit's very important, so this will be your destination folder, so where the program will be installed to, and you're going to need to remember where you install it to for later on in the video. But for me, I'm going to put it in this folder here, so I'm putting it on my D drive, and I've got a WWE 2K23 mod tools folder, but you can just put it in your program files by default if you want to, that's up to you. But make sure you remember and take note of where it is. And then again, you just want to click through, click next, and go all the way through, and then it's going to open up the Wwise launcher. So you're going to wait for this, and you're going to see that it's going to try and install Wwise 2017.1.2 blah blah blah, and you want to do that as well, and make sure again you remember the directory of where you've installed it to. I'm just going to do it to program files. Right now mine says modify because it's already on my computer, but yeah, yours will say install, so make sure you follow that and click install. So once you've done that, you want to put your data.xml file into your sound editor folder where you've just installed it. So you want to click on your data.xml, Control C to copy, and then you want to navigate to wherever you've installed sound editor, and then just paste it. You'll see there's already one there, and you want to replace that. And this basically tells Sound Editor which song's which, and it will tell you by name in the program. So once you've installed your data.xml, you just want to open up soundeditor.exe, which will take you to the program itself. And then you want to just go to your settings and double check that everything is set up correctly. So you want your Wwise main directory set. So you want to make sure that's set to program files x86, Audio Kinetic, and Wwise 2017.1.2.6361. Then you just want to make sure you click on the name itself and then click OK, and that should be set properly. Then you want to make sure that you've got a WEM export directory set. So this will be where the program saves any files that you create yourself, and you just want to make sure that's set to anywhere you like. Just make sure you remember, I've got mine set to downloads. You can do it to your desktop, to your My Documents, wherever you want. But yeah, for me, that's in downloads. Then you just want to click save. We can get into importing the file itself. But firstly, there might be a small issue that you'll see here. So when I click Control open, it automatically takes me to my 2K22 folder, which of course we don't want. What you'll find is, even if you do navigate to your 2K23 and open up any of these, when you go back to open, it'll take you back to 2K22 by default, which can be a little bit confusing, and you can forget sometimes that you've done it and then be confused why the music hasn't imported into 2K23. So there is a way to fix it if that is the problem. If when you click open and you see 2K22 by default, follow these steps. If you don't and you see 2K23, then it's not a problem. For the fix, you want to go to your 2K22 folder and just rename it, and then you want to go to your 2K23, go to sound and open any file. So I'm just going to open music 3. Next, you want to close off Sound Editor, and then when you go back in, you should see that 2K23 is now your default. So you want to go back to 2K22, rename it back to what it was, and then you should be sorted. Anyway, once you've done that, if you haven't had that issue, just ignore that bit. So now you want to open one of these music folders in your sound folder within 2K23. You've got 1 to 8, and basically these contain all of the songs in the game, and they're spread throughout 8 files. So in this case, we're going to open music 2, which should have Sami Zayn's theme in. I want to make sure that you've closed off your game before you do this step. So scroll down to Sami Zayn. You just want to right click it, click import, and then we're going to navigate to samizayn.wem. So you just want to double click that, and then it will say file data injected, which means it is now officially in the game. And you can tell that it's in the game too, as under replaced sound, this will change to the name of the file that you imported over. So say, for example, you replaced, I don't know, Spitfire Warriors with CM Punk. It would say CM Punk there, or whatever the name of the file that you imported is. So now we want to open the game and just quickly check that it's worked. But don't go yet because there's more to cover.
From Montreal, Quebec, Canada, weighing in at 212 pounds, Sami Zayn!
And before we get to the rest of today's video, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on, as we aim for 10,000 subscribers, hopefully in the near future. Now that WWE 2K23 is upon us, we can expect a ton of content coming to the channel that you won't want to miss, with the release of AEW Fight Forever also on the horizon. So as you heard then, the song's working, and he's now back to his current theme, or old theme, depending on how you look at it. So what if you want to install a file that isn't Sami Zayn? Where can you download them from? And more importantly, how can you make your own WEM file? So let's cover that now. So there's two go-to places for mods. Firstly, PW Mods, who do a great job and have a great website full of character mods and everything else. But as I say, for today, we're looking for songs. So you want to go to Browse, and for now, there's only a 2K22 section, but sound files will work the same, so it's not that important. But there will be a 2K23 section as well at some point in the future, hopefully soon. So you want to go to 2K22, down to sound, and once you're there, you'll see all these files, and there's multiple pages if you want to scroll through. So you want to make sure you look for theme and not call name. That's a whole different story. So yeah, Dominic Mysterio theme song, Sami Zayn theme plus crowd chants. I found that one's broken at the minute, but you might want to check that. And secondly, you want to check out the Smack Talks forum once again. And again, we're under the 2K22 section, and there will be a 2K23 one soon, so keep checking for that on the homepage. And you want to go to 2K22, modding, modded releases, and multimedia mods. And then there's a few threads in here. So Landra James has got one, Judas with arena effects and crowd sing-along, Adam Cole AEW theme with chants. There's another themes one there. So that's where you can find your themes. But what if you've got an MP3 file that you want to turn into a WEM file to import into the game? So for this, I've got an MP3 file here of Stone Cold Steve Austin's theme by Disturbed, the one with the lyrics, and I'm going to install that over his generic theme in the game. And if you don't know how to download MP3 files, then I can't really help you, I don't think. Just go on Google and search for YouTube to MP3, and there'll be some websites where you can paste a YouTube URL and download them. And of course, goes without saying, only ever download songs that you own the rights to. This can't be imported directly into the game, but what you can do is go to your sound editor and go to Tools and go to Sound Converter. Now you want to leave everything as default, but you just want to go to Select Sounds and click on these dots and find your MP3 file, so Stone Cold Titantron 2011, and just open it, and it's going to have the name of it there, and then just click Convert. And once it's converted, it'll now be in the folder that you set earlier on in your settings as WEM export directory. For me, it's in downloads. So this is my new WEM file. And then the same process as Sami Zayn, you want to look for the character that you're replacing. So I need to look for Steve Austin. And there we go, I found him. And once again, right click, import, go to Stone Cold, double click, and now that is officially installed. And before you go, make sure you check out the most improved superstar ratings in WWE 2K23.